In this video, I would like to go over some of the major concepts in the section 4.1 of our textbook. And the concepts are sketching an angle, number 2, finding coterminal angles, number 3, converting radians to degrees, and vice versa. Okay, well, let's start with concept number 1, sketching an angle. All right, let's try the angle 2 pi. Now for 2 pi, we always start, for sketching any angle, we are going to start at the positive x-axis right here, and because it's positive 2 pi, we're going to go around counterclockwise. And so I'm going to show this little arrow to indicate that direction, that I'm moving in the positive direction, and we're going to go 1 pi and then 2 pi and end there. So this little spiral indicates the angle positive 2 pi. Okay, as you can see in the unit circle here, 0 degrees starts here, we go around, we get 2 pi. I expect you guys to be able to do this even without the use of this unit circle. Okay, now let's try another example, negative 2 pi. For negative 2 pi, once again we start at the positive x-axis, but this time we're going to go around clockwise, as indicated by this arrow here. So we start positive x-axis, we go around, and we go around 1 pi, and then come back to 2 pi. So this is a negative 2 pi. Okay, once again, start here, positive x-axis. This is negative pi, and then negative 2 pi. All right, so once again, this little spiral is a good way to describe the angle. Okay, another example, 5 pi. Okay, start at the positive x-axis. The angle is positive 5 pi, so we're going to go around in the positive direction. And so we get positive 1 pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, and 5 pi. So that is a good representation for the angle 5 pi. Let's do a few more. Let's try 17 pi over 4. As you can see, that's not on the unit circle at all. And alright, so what I recommend is that you convert this into a mixed fraction. So 4 goes into 17 4 times, with the remainder of 1/4, or 4 total pi's plus 1/4 of a pi. Okay, so let's start doing this. We start at the positive x-axis. We're going to go around 4 pi. 1 pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi. That just gets me back to the starting position. Alright, so now from here, we're going to go around pi 4th more. And as you can see on the unit circle, pi over 4 is in the middle of this first quadrant. So I'm going to continue to go and stop right there. So this is where the angle 17 pi over 4 is, right there. Okay, so you do the exact same thing with degrees. Okay, now let's go on to the next concept. Let me erase these. Okay, concept number 2, and that is finding coterminal angles. Well, coterminal angles are angles that land on the same spot. For example, let's take 90 degrees, which is up here. If we go around the circle one more time, and we land on the same spot, I'm not going to say that I'm at 90 degrees anymore. I'm going to say that I'm at 90 plus 360 because I've gone around the circle a complete time, 360 degrees more. And this angle here is 360 plus 90, 450 degrees. Now, because it's in the same position though, it's in the it's on top of the circle, the same location, we say that these two angles are coterminal. 90 is coterminal to 360. I'm still at the top of the circle. It's a different angle. It's, it's 90, different angle than 450, different angle, but they land on the same spot on the unit circle. So we say that they are coterminal, 90 and 450. All right. If I ask you to find a negative coterminal angle to 90 degrees, you could simply, once again, let me start with the 90 degrees, but this time I'm going to go around the circle the other way, in the negative direction. So the way to compute that is to subtract 360. And we get an answer of negative 270 degrees. So let's see, 90, take away 360, we end back here at the top of the circle, and so these are coterminal angles. 90 is coterminal with 450, which is also coterminal with negative 270 degrees. This is a negative angle and a positive angle. Coterminal angles. Okay, let me try a little bit different. Let me try it with radians this time. Let's say that the angle that they give you is pi over 4. And the question is, or the instructions are to find two coterminal angles, one positive and one negative. All right, so one way to do that is to, let me see, we are at pi over 4. Let me go around the circle one way, the positive way. So this time, because we're talking about radians, I'm not going to add 360, but I'm going to add the equivalent, which is 2 pi. And for the negative coterminal angle, instead of going around the positive side, I'm going to go around the whole circle, but the negative direction. So I'm going to subtract 2 pi. And so let me get this this answer on top here. Pi over 4 plus 2 pi. Multiply this by 4, top and bottom. You get 8 pi. 8 pi plus 1 pi is 9 pi over 4. And let's do the next one. Multiply by 4, top and bottom here again. We get negative 8. 1 pi take away 8 pi is negative 7 pi over 4. So these two angles, these two radian angles, are coterminal with pi over 4. This one's positive and that one's negative. Okay. And then finally, let me talk about the last concept, which is that of converting radians to degrees and vice versa. All right, so let's say that I give you 7 pi over 3. And this is a radian measure, and I ask you to convert it to degrees. Now, 7 pi is not on the unit circle, so looking at the unit circle isn't going to help. Now, the formula is to multiply this by 180 degrees over pi. And so we're going to multiply these two fractions and reduce. All right, so the formula to convert radians to degrees is multiply the radian measure by, once again, 180 degrees over pi. All right, and let me do the other way around. Let's say that we have 300 degrees, and I ask you to convert it to radian measures. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take the 300 and multiply it by pi over 180. So if we want degrees, we have degrees on top in this little formula. However, if we want radians, going from degrees to radians, we're going to put the pi on top. It's the same formula, it's just flipped over. All right, so let's get the degrees. Let me see, the pi's cancel out here. 3 and 180. 3 goes into 3 one time. 3 goes into 180 60 times. And nothing more to reduce, so then 60 times 7, 420 degrees. All right, now let's do the 300 degrees and find the correct radian for that. So here we have the two fractions. Let's simplify. Let's see, a 0 cancels out here. 30, what goes into 30 and 18? Well, 6 does. 6 goes into 30 5 times, 6 goes into 18 3 times. Can I reduce any further? No. So then let me just multiply straight. I get 5 pi over 3. So those are the major concepts in 4.1.